What's up, Caroline?
Hi, Dr. John. Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course. What's going on?
Yeah, so I am calling in for some advice about a situation at work that's been causing me a lot of anxiety, honestly.
Okay.
I have been noticing that two of my coworkers have been kind of engaging in an inappropriate relationship that's been developing. One is my boss, who is married, and one is my fellow coworker who is not. And I am just seeking advice on what is my role as kind of a bystander in addressing the situation or calling it out.
I think just coming to mind, I think two things play out here. Number one, what is what I would say a moral ethos of where you work, right? So are you working at a church?
Yeah.
Are you working at a place that puts their values on the wall and says, this is who we are? Or
Yes.
I've worked at places where everybody's hooking up with everybody, right? And so there's that.
Yeah.
The second one is, what's your personal relationship with these two, with their extended family? Are these your friends? Are these people that have given you permission to speak into their life? And I got a third one. Do you want to work around this crap? That's the third one. And so often people like to let their values be heard, but they don't like that letting their values be heard sometimes comes at a cost. Right? So tell me about like what you have deemed inappropriate. Is it like you walk in on them totally hooking up, or they go to lunch? Like tell me what you think is inappropriate.
Yeah, and that's where I think, the advice is needed, because what I might think is inappropriate, might not be. Like, they go to lunch together, they take walks at lunch together, they're dieting together, they're going on personal errands together during the workday, spending a lot of, sometimes even like coming into work on the weekends together.
Oh yeah.
I do work at a company that is faith-based. It's a private company. We're corporate America, but we are, our morals and our values are very important to us at our work. And, both people are professing Christians, and as am I, and I have developed a close personal relationship with them. And so that's why I think it's been bothering me as much as it has.
Is this coworker friend of yours, is he or she report up to the person they're with?
Yes.
Okay. That to me is anytime a boss is hooking up with or way too close with one of the people that report up to them. I just feels gross working in that environment. I get that. Or it makes you like, hey, if you're gonna be a person who's doesn't have integrity with your marriage, where are other areas you don't have integrity in your life? Because there's a really famous study after the social science study after the Ashley Madison leak that showed there was a correlation between people who were cheating on their spouse and people who had ethics violations filed against them. And so it bears out in the data. Here's the biggest deal. Of all the things you've said to me, these are your friends. And before I went throwing grenades, I would probably pull my friend aside and say, hey, dude, here's what I'm seeing. Like, tell me what's going on. Yeah. And nothing's going on. What's the matter with you? I would never just be like, all right, cool. This is just kind of what it looks like. And maybe other people in the office are talking about it, and I'm your friend, and I just need you to know here's the visual here.
Yeah, I think I've almost done that so many times, but I've been afraid of, losing that friendship, losing that relationship in the case that I'm wrong.
If someone is truly a friend, and you have a booger in your nose, and you let them know, they're really grateful.
Yeah.
So if they're truly your friend, and you pull them aside and say, dude, something doesn't look right.
Yeah.
And either something's going on in your life that you're over your head in something, or you're making some just conscious decisions to live a different life. Cool. They're going to go, you're right. Or they're going to go, oh my gosh, nothing is happening. But yeah, now the way you just said that, oh my gosh, this looks awful. And I need to be more conscious of that, right? But it's going to be something out of gratitude. If they're not really your friend, they're going to burn you to the ground for calling out them acting stupid, right? Acting the fool. So where I'm nervous to do anything beyond that is, like you mentioned, I don't know, at certain jobs and certain places, it would have been super weird for me to look at somebody and say, I'm not going to go grab lunch with you because you're a woman. That would be strange. Or us four all going out. So that would be weird. And so I don't want to say this behavior is wrong, this behavior is wrong, this behavior is wrong. I will say, man, you can find yourself in some slippery slopes. Right? And so, and I've been there too. So I think the biggest thing is you have a personal relationship with them. And I would tell your coworker, probably not my boss. That's probably not where I would start unless you're super close to your boss. But I would start with my coworker and say, let's go out and have a hard conversation. Here's what I'm seeing. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
And he or she might tell you, dude, I'm trapped. I'm trapped. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck in this deal. Boss is kind of predatory. Like, you don't know what you're going to hear on that side of it.
Yeah.
And if your boss's supervisor knew that he was potentially sleeping with one of his employees, would that cost him his job?
Yes.
Okay. Well, at some point, you got to make that call too. I just decided life's too short, and I want to work in a place where I think the leader's got integrity. I don't always have to agree with them.
Yeah.
There's things I dramatically disagree with my leaders right now when it comes to certain issues. But when it comes to, do I trust that person? Implicitly. With everything I got. Trust. And that's just a core value for me. And if they look at you and call you stupid and they isolate you, then you can go up the HR chain. You can find a new job. But it doesn't sound like you're sleeping well.
Yeah.
Okay, I threw a lot at you. What are you thinking about it all?
Yeah, no, I think it's more so confirmed that I need to have that conversation, because I definitely don't want to, gossip about it with other people. Or, I know the right thing to do is to go directly to that person first. And I think I just need to get over the fear of man and the fear of having that hard conversation. And I do think we are close enough that it would be received well, when delivered in the right way. So
that's awesome. Well, good for you. Will you let me know how that conversation goes?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Here's one last tip.
Yeah.
As little as possible. Let me say it. I was about to say it in the double reverse negative. So I'll say it in a more direct way. Use the word I as much as possible, not the word you. If you sit down at a table and you look across the table at your friend and you say, you've been doing this and you've been doing this and you've been doing this, you've just started a fight.
Yeah.
If you sit down and say, I'm worried about my friend and I'm seeing this and I want your world to have peace in it and I want you to be okay. And it feels to me like the boss is preying on you and using his position of power to put you in a situation you might not want to be in. Like, I would start it that way, because now you're talking about, I'm seeing this, and I is often an invitation. It's not an accusation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
No, that's good.
All right. Let me know how it goes. Yeah. And
thank you.
Thank you for being a person of character, and thank you for being a person who, I don't know. I just really preferred the personal conversation more than the HR grenade.
Yeah, definitely.
I just think there's a right way to handle these things. And unfortunately, in our day and age, the right way to handle things sometimes costs us such stuff. And I hate that, but that's the world we're in. I'd much rather be able to sleep at night, right?
Right.
Awesome. Well, good for you, Caroline. Sweet, sweet Caroline. Best of luck to you. Let me know how that conversation goes. We'll be thinking about you.